Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your number one source for Native American television news. It's Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, welcoming everybody to another great show and wanting to wish you a very, very happy new year. Hopefully everybody out there had a nice, safe, happy holidays, and 2014 is upon us. A lot of great things, exciting times here at Native News Today. And always with the, a new year upon us, we look back at the old year, 2013, and some of the great things that happened throughout the year. We're going to be doing that today here on the program. So everybody is excited about kind of a little rewind button and look back at some of our big stories, our big headlines throughout the year that really made the show wonderful in 2013. Taking a lot of steps and new production techniques, things like that, only going to get better in the future. So it was a great year here at Native News Today, evidenced by all the great stories that we're going to share with you here today. So everybody out there, don't go anywhere, relax. We're going to take our very first break. We'll be right back with our New Year's special here on Native News Today.
Jehojefkat Paul Fixakodos. Ikanagat Tekobachi, Mikusapkajokonman, Amikusapkajokodos. I'm able to preach in English and Muskogee, our language too, so there's not many that does that today. When I was growing up, that's all we had, Muskogee language, and that's all they preach. I could talk my language when I was small. When I grew up, I could understand what they were saying. We don't want to lose that, language, especially our songs, our native songs and the Muskogee hymns. We want to keep them.
Pumunakadat nak azagidomen, ajai jahaniat, omen ibuwakidos.
Daniels in Ogitskish, Bonshongi benoat, Bomio, Boshomizatlish.
Momesh, Harishongigo imongin. Hobidagi ani omaga bomaha hoye imogin oma bonchomegigosh. For more information about Muskogee language preservation, please call us at 918-732-7724.
All right, thanks for being back here on Native News Today. We're excited to roll out now our 2013 Best Of special, and we'll start it off with a story that really made headlines nationally, not just here in Creek Country, but Indian Country as a whole. Some of our Creek citizens went to Alabama to really have a moment there with Ogiobova, Hickory Ground site there, which is now in the area where the Porch Creek Indians are. And unfortunately, some things did come up with the protection of sacred sites, and this was a story chronicling all of that.
I'm here today on behalf of Miko George Thompson, the traditional Miko of Ogiobova, which is Hickory Ground in Oklahoma, as well as the National Council Speaker Sam Alexander and our tribal membership of the Muskogee Creek Nation. I must start by saying it's good to be back home of our ancestors here in Alabama. It's good to be among our relatives here in Alabama. I came because there were some arrests that were made recently, and wanted to make sure that we're able to take some of our tribal members home. 2 are at home. There are 3 tribal members that were arrested as we're speaking right now. One is in the process of being released over in Wetumpka area. And we feel important that we came, and not only to show our interest of what's going on with our tribal membership that was arrested, but also to be able to show their families that Muskogee Creek Nation is certainly supporting their tribal members and people here in Alabama. We really still don't understand the incidents surrounding the arrests of our tribal members. Those things I'm sure will be worked out at some point in time. We feel like that one individual, Waylon Gray, was arrested for some terrorist threats. We don't know that as to what extent there may be. when we talk about terrorist threats, regardless of what nation we may be, we consider those very serious. And yet we feel like that, those things have to go through the process, and whatever happens in court, those are things that are worked out in court. Mr. Gray has been held since Friday afternoon over in Wetumpka, and there are many of our tribal members back home that feel like to a certain degree that our two nations, our relatives here in Alabama and Georgia, the Porsche band were related, and surely, just like anything else, relations can have disagreements. But our traditions and our culture says that we should be able to sit across the table from each other and work these things out. And to some degree, we feel like that this has kind of gotten out of hand. And so we want to, again, offer to our relatives here, the Porsche band, our resources to them to see as to how we can work together and try to get some of these things resolved, because that's the way it is with indigenous people, that we work things out, and that we should be concerned about protecting our sacred lands. We should be working together as allies on more important things in terms of our sovereignties being attacked on a daily basis, whether it's from the state or federal level. And I believe by banding together, by being the relations that we are, to be able to address those issues are more important. We all have a common respect for our traditional values and cultural values, and we regard Hickory Ground as a very sacred place. Ojiabova, which is Hickory Ground in our language, is very special to us. It's where our traditional sacred fire was taken from this area to what is now Oklahoma. And we feel that there are some things that we must keep sacred. And many of our ancestors were laid to rest in the area of Wetumpka. And with their resting places, we consider funerary objects with them that are very special and very sacred to many of us. I know that the Muskogee Creek Nation was very happy to be able to assist the Porsche band for their federal recognition back in the 80s, with the understanding that we'd work together, especially when it came to sacred and traditional issues. And we feel that if we're able to work together on some of these issues, that would benefit everyone involved. During a period of time, the Hickory Ground area was part of a national registry as a historic property based on its significance of undisturbed archaeological Native American remains that is located there. Unfortunately, since that time, there has been some disturbance in that area. We feel it is still a significant site for our Muskogee Creek people and should be regarded with the utmost respect. Again, we've been able to have some meetings with our relatives from the Porsche band in various areas of this country, and we feel like that while we may have these disagreements, the Muskogee Creek Nation is still yet offering to help any way that we can with the resources that we have to see that some of these things can be worked out. Unfortunately, the Muskogee Creek Nation and the Hickory Ground ceremonial town were forced to file a lawsuit to prevent the Porsche band from engaging in disturbing our Muskogee ancestors' final resting place. Our hope is that the two sovereign Indian nations could work together through this issue, but really we don't see a resolution in the near future unless construction is stopped. I have offered, again, alternatives without the Porsche band leadership taking it seriously. We felt like that we've came to a situation where both sides feel like they're doing what's best for them. In closing, I just again want to say that when we came to Wetumpka, I felt the feelings and the spirits of our forefathers and foremothers, and how sacred it is to be able to come back and walk the streets and walk the property and walk the lands of our ancestors. It was very emotional, And yet we came back because of some negativeness that I really don't want to dwell in anymore. I came because families of Waylon Gray, tribal members, feel that this is something that the nation needed to do. And I want to be able to take Mr. Gray home this evening and take him home to his parents and to his loved ones. And that in the future, as we look toward the future, that it's our hope that in some way that our relatives here in this state, our relatives that are recognized for being a nation, that we can indeed be nations and work together.
Okay, and as we move along here to the middle of the year, we get to around June 2013. You know what that means around here. It's the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. Great place to be, great time of year to be around all the Creek family and friends and just people coming around Muskogee Creek Nation for all things Creek. And really the festival is one of the biggest things throughout the year. And we just wanted to, in a way, be amongst all the people, get all the sights and sounds, put it together, and without further ado, it's the 2013 Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. we certainly hope you're enjoying our look back, best of 2013, our best stories throughout the years. You know, this was a great thing here, the going out to Phoenix, and for the first time ever, Native News Today joining up with a major sports franchise, the Arizona Diamondbacks out in Phoenix. The Arizona Diamondbacks organization teamed up with the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community to place the country's only minor league baseball facility on Native American land. Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Really cool story.
This is the first spring training, Major League Baseball spring training facility built on Native American land. The Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies were both down in Tucson. There were only a couple teams left down there. It wasn't very easy for them to drive to the Valley during March and play all the teams that are up here for spring training. So they put out an RFP, and a lot of people were interested in having the two teams here, especially the Diamondbacks being the hometown team right here in the Phoenix area. A lot of responses came in, but by far the best response was from the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. They had a tremendous piece of land right here, which is located just to the east of Scottsdale, right off the 101, very easily accessible, and this is prime territory. The location was great, and then working with the community, the design, their cooperation and their willingness to have the two teams here. It's been a wonderful process and a wonderful project to be a part of. And since we opened in 2011, we've set the 3 top all-time Major League Baseball spring training attendance records. So it's been very well received by the fans. Salt River Fields also does year-round events, and we've had 1 million people come for baseball in the 3 seasons we've been open, and we've had about 400,000 people come for the other events, concerts and other things. So very well received, and it's been a wonderful partnership between the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Salt River community.
It means a great deal to have partnerships with the tribes, and you know, we've had a long-standing one with Gila River as a partnership, a marketing partnership here, and then now to partner with Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community with our new facility out there that is really a year-round presence for us and a point of pride for them. It's been terrific, and you know, they've been just tremendous partners, and we feel honored to be on their land and to actually have the first facility ever built on Native American land. It's a big point of pride for this organization. We really hope that it would be an attraction not only for the games but outside of the games. And then what we did, we took that opportunity to be able to tell their story, give their history, let people understand their culture a little more. And as you walk around Salt River Fields, we actually have historical timelines, and we have almost definitions and pictures of what the culture is, because it's a beautiful culture. And we want just the average fan who may be from out of town, doesn't know much about the tribes, to learn more. And it's a great setting for that.
Their influences, you can see it all over the ballpark, from the architecture, on the lights behind us. We're the first LEED Gold certified facility, spring training facility in all of Major League Baseball. Natural resources, low use of energy. There's so many things that are important to the Salt River community, as well as important to the teams. I think everybody from the president of each team and the ownership all the way down to the clubhouse guys have bought into how important it is to be a part of the land, and we're honored to be a part of this partnership. It's just been wonderful. The players love coming here, and to be honest with you, the Diamondbacks have signed some guys who want to be in the Scottsdale area, live here year-round, and be able to come here and train in the off-season. It's been a real boost for them also. We had Nabi last week. We had 73 teams here. They played Wednesday through Saturday. The championship games were last Saturday. And then all the participants got to go down to Chase Field for the Diamondbacks home game. They got the parade on the field prior to the game. They had the award ceremonies down there for the 1st through 4th place teams. And then they had traditional Native American dancers perform a ceremony pregame. So we've been open for 30 months, and that's the 3rd year we've done Nabi here. We're very proud of that. And we also do big events like concerts. So next month, 3 weeks from tonight, we'll have Tim McGraw here in concert. We've had Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert from Oklahoma. We've had Darius Rucker, Brantley Gilbert, lots of big name country acts. And so we do a lot of food festivals and a lot of different events, and it's very well received. It's good for the community, the Salt River community, for us to be more than just a baseball facility, because we're bringing people to their entertainment district area year-round. They have a 500-room beautiful resort and casino, a 36-hole golf course, a shopping center which is behind the stadium here to the south. There's all sorts of different amenities that we bring that help our sister partners in the Talking Stick District.
And this will be our last feature from the best of 2013, and really, you know, such a big deal. The National Congress of American Indians annual convention coming right here into our backyard, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, Tulsa right there, the intersection of Osage, Cherokee Creek. Why not have the National Congress of American Indians come and have the biggest lobbying group for Native Americans in the entire world there for that week, and all things Native American Indian country came alive there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We were glad to be there.
We're really honored and just humbled to a great degree that we and the Osages and Cherokee Nation can collaborate on having such a fine organization have their national conference, as you say, in our own backyard. It's been if the opening is any indication of this week, it's going to be a great week.
Well, that's what the nature of NCAI is, that we deal with the most critical issues that are affecting Indian country, and tribal leaders come together to develop consensus policy and debate those issues. So whoever's hot, up and coming, we talk about it here at this particular conference. And so we have like 59 something resolutions at this particular point that tribes will be debating and dealing with. And it can be on any issue, whether it be on education or on financial capacity, on tax proposals, nation-to-nation trade, tribes bringing land into trust, a variety of issues. I actually think that the more we educate the public, something that they don't learn in school, they learn about, you know, the Pilgrims landing and the Indians meeting them, but they didn't learn that we're thriving governments that still have a relationship, that those treaties that were signed actually still are there, whether they've been lived up to or not, but they're still there. And the principles of the relationship, of the trust relationship hasn't gone away. And I think what's happened for us is, as we get stronger as tribal nations, as we exercise our native vote, then all of a sudden the politicians are starting to listen to us, and we're getting better about having a unified voice and have a collective visual presence in those forums.
I've seen a big change in NCAI, but it started some years ago. My first involvement with NCAI started in 1995. I was the governor of my pueblo at Okilwinge, New Mexico. But I've seen it grow. I've seen NCAI grow. I've seen the issues that we've addressed have come to fruition. A lot of solutions that we provided for our Indian people, not just tribal, not just members of NCAI, but Indian country throughout. And I think that you know, the leadership is so important that we can't stand back and watch things happen. We can't be reactive. We got to address the issues head on, and we've got to be prepared to do that. And I think NCAI has come a long way in ensuring that happens, and our communications and our partnerships with our people, with national other Indian entities, as well as Congress and the President. With Congress the way it is right now and the federal government the way it is, all the more important that we need to be on target, but we also cannot be on-the-job training, if you will. We've got to know what the issues are. We've got to know the process. We've got to have the networks, and so important. So,
well, NCAI is probably the world's greatest intertribal organization in the world. There is nothing, I believe, that compares to the infrastructure and the organization that has been created since 1944 during its inception, and this is basically what our elders were looking forward to when they created this great organization, that tribes could travel around the nation, and we're blessed to be able to come to the homeland of the Oklahoma tribes here and be in their homeland, and to be able to have another conference here in the nation. And so, you know, NCAI is second to none as far as organization, infrastructure, and getting the message out to Indian country, the message of healthcare, the message of taxation, the message of land issues, and you know, dealing with the federal government. So it's just great to be in Oklahoma and great to be a part of NCAI.
Okay, and that will put a bow on this year's episode and this year actually as a whole, 2013, as we look forward to 2014. So much excitement around here at Native News Today, all the great things going on, new happenings, new beginnings. It's all fresh right now, so it's a great time of year. And, as we look back, I just think about some of those stories and what I was doing, the first one off the bat there, my mind just goes back to, being there basically as an embedded journalist with Chief Tiger all day long as he got on the plane. We got to Alabama, bailing Waylon Gray out, and that whole thing just became a firestorm. The pictures I was taking, the things that I was getting from Chief were being used on national media outlets everywhere. So it was really quite an experience there for me and for everybody involved in that, really. And we were just glad that we were able to go and bring a citizen home. And also looking through, the festival. What a great weekend. What a great way to look back there. And, just the sights and sounds of, and really the fanfare and festivities and all that. It's just a great, great week, a great month to be a part of Creek Nation. And what can you say? NCAI, Arizona Diamondbacks, it was all first class. What a great year for Native News Today. So we're glad to look back on 2013, but certainly excited about 2014. Can't wait to get it started. If you can't catch us here on CW, you can always catch us on our homepage at the Creek Nation YouTube channel, Native News Today on Twitter, Native News Today on Facebook. Everybody out there, we certainly hope you had a great year. We know we did. We're looking for bigger and better things in 2014. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you soon.